Neil here from, Movies That Don't Suck and Some That Do. We're here today and we're about to do an interview with good old Chad Ark. Oh, I knew I was going to mess it up as soon as I said Arkball, right? Archibald. I'm going to say that. I'm going to mess it up. I'm going to mess it up, guys. It's me. You know that. So what we're going to do, we're going to sit down the video and you're going to see us actually doing what we're going to record for the podcast later today. We're in the wonderful rewind videos is what it's called, underneath Greenland Armor over here in North. Now remember, you can still get tickets, panicfilmfest.com. Make sure to go to all those lovely, go to that website, get the tickets. There's plenty of movies going to be out there. One of them we're going to talk about here that we haven't even seen it yet, and we get to talk about it. It feeds. I can't wait to see that later. We've watched the trailer like 10 times today. So here we go, guys. We're going to be doing an interview live right here. You get it right here. All the watchers right now get to sit here, just watch us hanging out in a basement. Right, there we go.
Love it. It's so homey.
I know. It feels like
hanging out.
I told him
hanging out in the 90s.
I told him it's like if I had a basement, but I grew up in a trailer court. So my basement was a mud, it's a mud puddle. All right, guys. Today on Movies Don't Suck and Some Do, we're interviewing Chad Archibald. I said it wrong again, didn't I?
All right. You got plenty of chances.
Archibald.
Say the same name every time.
He is a filmmaker known for his work in the horror genre, both as a director and producer, a key figure behind Black Fawn Films. He's made a name for himself with unsettling films that push the psyche and body horror to the forefront. His movies include like The Drownsman, Bite, The Heretics, I'll Take Your Dead, Antisocial. I didn't write down here, and I knew that movie like years ago. I haven't seen it.
Wow.
Yeah. His talent for crafting airy tension-filled narrative. He blends practical effects and psychotic like dread. His new movie, which me and Chris will be watching later on today, is It Feeds, and it's being featured right here at Panic Film Festival 2025. Chad, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me, guys. Excited.
Now, we were watching the trailer for It Feeds earlier today, which is really cool. It has Ashley Green from Twilight series, and then Sean. I remember him from Iceman, of course.
Of course.
Why he didn't get a bigger part in the X-Men movies?
We're all waiting for it. We're all waiting for it.
They need to get that callback. Aren't they doing the X-Men now in the MC? Yeah, they should definitely get a callback.
They should give Chad a call about that.
So. Tell us about the movie It Feeds. Give us an idea what the movie's about.
Yeah, it's basically, kind of a blend of films like Insidious and, movies like The Cell or Inception, Nightmare on Elm Street, films that I love. It's like this really was a movie that I just wanted to combine as many elements of films that I always grew up loving and films that I love to this day, and just be able to go out and make a movie like that. To kind of I guess you're able to break the rules, kind of go into someone's mind and, just build worlds.
Yes.
It's something that as an indie filmmaker, it's like, you never really have the budget to do something.
Right.
You don't want to do it unless you can do it well. Right. So
exactly.
This was the first chance that we've had to kind of be able to go out there and, we had a little bit more money for this one and we could go out there and just kind of create all these worlds and stuff. But I mean, the basic premise of the movie is there's a mother-daughter. Mother is a kind of clairvoyant, and she can travel into people's minds and help them deal with their
so kind of like what movie was that with Jennifer Lopez?
Exactly.
That was like one of my favorites, and everybody made fun of me as a kid.
I loved Tarsum Singh.
Oh my gosh,
she's such an awesome.
I still had nightmares about that horse cutting up to me for like years. That was one of my favorite. When watching some of your movies and stuff like that, I noticed you use a lot of good practical makeup and stuff like that. Now, is that someone you've been using for years, or is it just you're lucky enough to get new teams every time? Or
I mean, it's great because we do it. It really started out because we had no money.
Yeah.
Especially when we started making movies, it was like VFX was just not something that an indie film could really have. Or we just have to do it on our own, right? So a lot of the films that we started doing, it was just us out there trying to figure out how to do these gigs. And also it was like, horror movies are the best, like the most fun movies to make,
right?
Because you get to do all these gigs, and like it's like you spend this time setting everything up. It's like a bunch of adults hanging out doing a weird sight.
It's like is the cornstarch going to make the blood better? Is it going to be the baking powder?
This is going to pop, and so. I mean, we love doing them, but also, we also grew up, in the '90s, and
Yeah.
love seeing the ones that work, and you also just know that it works. For us, it was always like, if you do it in VFX, you don't know if you're going to be able to pull it off.
Right.
Whereas, like, when you're on set and you're doing it, then that you got it.
There's a famous line I actually like that. It's actually from a pro wrestler. And it goes, "If your dreams don't scare the shit out of you, then you need to dream harder." And it's like, I love that line. And that's kind of like what it is when you're doing any kind of special effects, because you're kind of trying to figure out, can we do this? Is there a way to pull this off to make it look very real? I mean,
one of the things I really liked about seeing your movies is the way you do lighting. It always creates that dread in the best way possible. Like just some of the beauty colors, and then the pop. It's just something that really struck me in the trailer for the deeds.
And we've worked with DP Jeff Mahar for
Yeah.
years, like right from Antisocial.
Yeah.
We've done so many films with him. He's such a huge part of any Black Fawn movie that we do.
Yeah.
And he's just so talented, man. Watching him grow over the years, and just
nice.
He's so quick now, and he's just I think he's one of the most talented DPs out there, because it's like we've never really had that much money.
Yeah.
And it's like he always makes everything look so good, and it's really collaborative. We all work together, and he's just such a good human being. I can't say enough good things about him.
So, as you know, what has gravitated you to horror as a filmmaker? Like, what's the thing that really you love about it?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up making horror films, or loving horror films.
What's your like top three, if you're just gonna throw three out there? Like I hate doing that, but just like, what are some of your favorites? Don't get top it.
I mean, I always loved Hellraisers.
Oh, sure.
Oh, like
I feel like every time
Hellraiser 1 and 2 is like literally, I think, like is the best 1 and 2 of any horror or any genre period.
Exactly, like Hellraiser 2 is like, what an insane movie to actually
I know,
like, and be able to like go and like, especially back then, like seeing those visuals, I was like, what? And like the characters and the character design of all of them, it's like we've always wanted to do, a movie where it's like, McFarlane would make a figurine out of it.
Nice, yes.
That stuff's so awesome. And I mean, it's so much fun. But like, I think making movies is so much fun, being able to sit and design stuff, and then being able to have like a team of talented people come in and like create that. Man, it is just it's so awesome.
It's just an insane business. I seriously, I work more in like radio on the music side and stuff like that, but like I'm a admirer. Like I used to live above like a one screen theater in like a small town, and like I could hear the movie coming through the floor. So like I've always been a huge admirer of it. Now, what makes it feeds different than some of your other works that you've done? Like what do you think has separated from some of your other work?
I think I mean, one thing that we wanted to do with this movie is, we wanted to make a movie that really scared people.
Yeah.
We've done 35 films over the years. We've grossed people out, we've had suspense, we've had heartbreaking stuff. We've done a lot of different movies. But I don't know if we've ever nailed like making a movie that scares people like in the way that we really wanted to. And I mean, I love scary movies way too. Like I'll go with my wife to see a movie, and like she'll be watching it, and she'll look over at me, and I'm like, like I still get scared. Like I go home, I turn on all the lights, I'll sleep with the lights on at night. I love it because and I mean, it's so fun making movies because you get to go and see how it all happens. So it's not really that scary for you, but being able to create something as a horror filmmaker and sit with an audience and see them jump. I mean, I don't even know if it's going to work yet. We'll see tonight.
So did you just get here today?
Yeah, last night.
Oh, were you here last night for all that? Oh my gosh, like watching like the Halloween first of I mean, I forgot how cheesy Paul Rudd was in that movie.
So we actually got in, and we got in, had some food, went to sleep.
Oh, okay. Sweet. Last night, like
so excited to be here today, though.
Oh yeah.
Is this the first showing
ever in the world?
Oh, nice. So this is the premiere. Wow,
that's what I mean. It's like I don't know if this movie works yet.
Yeah, because like
we've had some early reviews, and they've all been so awesome, and I'm so grateful.
Yeah, we were looking around. It said like April. Is that when you guys are looking for a widespread release, or
April 18th? It hits theaters in the US.
Nice.
And it also hits VOD.
Okay, and so oh nice. So VOD at the same time it hit theaters. So April 18th, right?
Yeah.
So that's everybody listen. That's April 18th if you want to. Oh wow, I'm way out of there. But April 18th if you guys want to make sure to get this movie, then we're going to be talking about it a little bit more here. Now, what
Yeah, what was the biggest challenge in making it? Because
Yeah, I mean, I think it's weird because budgets are like they're all relative, right?
sure.
Like
Mhm.
making movies for nothing, we're always like, man, once we have some money to make it, they're gonna really see. But it's like as you get bigger budgets, it's like unions get involved in that, and
Yes.
all of a sudden you're like, wow, like in some ways we can do less now
Yeah.
than we could do before.
Yes.
And I mean, the movies that we made before with no restrictions and just like 15 people who just love making movies so much and don't, we're all just
Well,
doing it for the love of it.
if you remember, like when, like even when Terminator was being filmed, and Cameron's like, back then nobody knew who I was, so we could just go film down the
Oh, yeah.
street, and nobody, without a license or anything, and just be like, oh, I'm filming Arnold in the car. But as soon as you get more like these days, it's like as soon as people see the equipment, they're just like, no, license and blah, 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 and stuff like that.
And also it's like, you get more equipment, all of a sudden it takes more time, you need more
Mhm.
crew. And it's like, and it's all great. And I mean, it was just it was a very different experience that we've had making movies just independently with very little. And it was so awesome. Don't get me wrong. The crew was so awesome. We loved it. Um, and it was so fun to be able to play with some of this.
Going still live the whole time, and it's still live the
Okay,
whole
that's
time.
good.
Sorry guys, I didn't know the phone was going like that. But so anyway, so do you have any other projects that you're working on right now, like after it feeds, what do you got coming down the way?
Yeah, we have the feeds coming out now. Everything we're basically just starting festivals right now.
Oh, yeah.
We're
Mhm.
going to Brussels after this,
Cool. Oh, awesome.
Fantaspoa, Hardline, and then flying back to Canada for the Canadian premiere in Toronto
Nice.
on April 16th. So it'll be fun, and then hitting theaters in Canada and the US. And then yeah, after this, we just wrapped on a movie called The Undertone.
Oh,
We can't
nice.
talk about that much, but super
Understandable.
excited about it. New director we've never worked with before, so talented. And the movie's it's awesome. It's just very artistic vision and just very very cool.
Where did where did you go, like, to when you started doing movies and stuff like that? Did you go to film school, or did you go to huh?
No.
No. So like your first filming experience, like what did you do? Did you just like grab a camcorder and go at it, or did you like what was your first experience in filmmaking?
I mean, it was a long time ago now at this point, but yeah, I mean, me and a buddy just we went out and I think we bought Screenwriters for Dummies.
Nice. The yellow.
This was
Yeah.
like there was like YouTube wasn't even
Yeah.
at this point, right? So we lived in a small town called Guelph, and yeah, we went out and wrote the script, and it was like I don't know, 108, 60 pages. We had no idea. We'd never even seen a script in our lives. And then we went out and shot this movie, and we were going to shoot over a week or something like that. And we just called all our best looking friends, which was
Like
funny.
two.
It's funny because like a lot of them were like Ryan Barrett was my buddy who was in a Violent Nature. He's Johnny in Violent Nature.
Nice.
He's in like
Nice,
He's
nice.
done so many films over the years. He's done he's such an awesome actor, and he's just I love that he's having some great success right now. But and I made that film with Gabriel Carrere. Who,
Yeah.
yeah, he he has a new movie coming out now called Death Cycle that we're all really pumped about. So I mean, it was we just started out just kind of making this movie, and yeah, again we were going to shoot over a week, and it ended up taking like 2 years.
Wow.
And we just pushed as hard as we could, and just it was nothing was told to us on how to make a movie back then.
Right.
We never even had boom mic. We didn't even know
You're just like, how to record sound.
we made the whole movie and then showed it to someone, like the one person in Toronto that we knew was in the industry, and he was like, well, where's your M&E, where's your split tracks, where this audio's horrible or whatever, and we are like, I don't know, it's the audio that got recorded or whatever. And he's like, oh, you need a sound studio and all this. So it's like I like made this movie on a credit card. And I went home and I built a sound studio in my basement,
Nice.
like just as much drywall and insulation as I could in this tiny little frame.
Oh wow.
And then I recorded every single line, every sound, every clothing movement,
Oh,
footstep over again over 8 months in Sony Vegas Video, which I don't even think exists anymore. And went back and delivered the movie to him and said, like, what do you think or whatever, and sold it to Lionsgate and Lance Landis. It's like, released in every Blockbuster in Canada and the US.
Yeah, Lionsgate. Yeah.
On VHS, and DVD.
Chris, you got some questions you want to ask him? Do we cover everything? I mean, we're like, man, I can't even think past that.
One of the questions I kind of asked it earlier, but if there was a Mount Rushmore of filmmakers, who would be up there for you?
I love Darren Aronofsky.
Yeah,
yeah.
I love how it's like he makes like dramas that feel like genre movies.
Yes.
Like actually, The Fountain was a big inspiration for It Feeds.
Oh wow! Like I can't now. I want to see the movie more.
The Mother was a big mind fuck for me. I was like,
oh yeah, like, Mother.
Making a movie like that that's like just an experiment of a film. It breaks all the rules. And kind of just like goes out there and does it. Man. I mean, Requiem for a Dream is like changed my life.
I mean, Requiem for a Dream. Requiem for a Dream. I always tell everybody it's one of the most amazing movies in the entire world. I will not watch it again, but it is one of the best movies. Like, I mean, because that gave me like the worst nightmares forever.
I watched it in college, and I remember I watched it before going out. We were all going out to a party. I watched it, and I was like, I'm just gonna stay in. I just like curled up in my bed. I was like, I'm seeing black and white right now. There's no color in the world. I need to like recover from this.
We were actually having a party. I was at college in Indiana University, and we were having a party, and my friend brought over Requiem for a Dream. He's like, we should watch this before we go out. And like literally it was just quiet and the credits hit, and my friend Ricky, Richard Howell, if you're watching, he just straight up said, well, the only way that we can feel better now is that we all commit suicide. And I was like, God, thank you, Travis, for bringing the party down.
But yeah, I love him. Tarsem Singh, another one who did The Cell.
And
his films. I mean, I think visionary director.
Oh yeah.
Love him too.
Mm-hmm.
Finchers,
all,
like there's so many awesome, talented filmmakers out there. I also love so many indie filmmakers that are just.
He's a huge director guy. I'm more of like the actors and like I like the cinematography and stuff like that. This dude is like overly obsessed with like Ari Aster. Like, I mean, he's got Black Phillip tattooed on him. I think he has probably more things to say "live deliciously" on it than anything, anybody that owns anything. So, how long are you going to be out? Are you going to be here for the whole week, or just the weekend?
Just here today, and then fly out tomorrow morning.
Wow.
Home, we do press for a week to promote the film, and then go to Brussels for the European premiere.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
man, that's awesome. Have you ever been here to Kansas City before?
First time.
Man, if you get a chance.
I'm also, I just gotta say, I'm a Cowboys fan.
Don't stop watching. Stop.
born and raised, and I mean,
well, he's from Texas too. So
I mean, at this point, it's like everyone kind of.
Yeah, I grew up in South Bend, Indiana. I'm a Notre Dame guy and a Colts fan. So like, believe me, they all make fun of me here too. So man, this has been a great conversation. All we can say is, guys, the movie comes out April 18th on VOD. It Feeds. Go check it out. We're going to check it out later on today. We'll give you some of our review later on tonight. Me and Chris will get together about that. It's a pleasure talking to you, man. Like, it was awesome. And I believe that's it. You guys, thank you. Make sure to go to panicfilmfest.com, get tickets. You can still make it. There's still tickets available for it. It's tonight. Just a couple. Very short. But if you're here in the North Kansas City area, come on out. You can be a part of it and be a part of everything and hang out with us tonight. All right. Thank you, guys.